little something for you. Let's see. So much going on. I'm gonna play a little music here. Little Father Indigo while we're waiting.
This ain't planned, must go down, Lord.
All praises to the Most High. So I heard that NASA said they were going to release those great pictures when CI Atlas passed Mars. And they ended up passing some more bullshit pictures that weren't really, really good pictures. They kept the real good ones hidden. And people were all pissed off, and all of a sudden they're realizing that, oh man, this government is lying to us. They're not telling us the truth. I was like, the Most High is beautiful. Because you've had no problem following the government so long as they were lying about us or lying to us. Now that they're lying to you, it's a problem. Now that you are now having to, get lied to and just take it, you can't say this is just not acceptable. I demand that you show me the real this and the real that. They don't got to show you shit. You guys are under them. You are their stooges. You guys made these covenants with these Edomites, and now you don't have any position to be like, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that. They're like, you're going to do whatever the hell we tell you to do, and you're going to take whatever we tell you to take, and that's it. And that is absolutely it. All of a sudden, that last live that we did, when that pastor from Tennessee was telling you, we don't want God to be just. We don't want him to be fair. We want him to be merciful. Now, the last few days, they were talking about how the ICE was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that they raided like 25 churches. And I'm going to play a couple little videos because you got all these people that are out here crying about them coming and taking people out of the church. They weren't doing anything. They were just going to church. There's a lot of things that are in play right here. That just showed you that your churches aren't holy ground, like you guys have been talking about. That shows you also that white Jesus is not merciful. And the Most High is actually going to hold you to the same standards that he held his children to. He is going to be fair. Yeah, you guys love Fox News. He's going to be fair and balanced. Don't y'all? Isn't that what y'all loved on Fox News? Hey, we're fair and balanced over here. We are fair and balanced. Okay, well, the Most High says, I'm fair and balanced too. I'm going to give you what I gave my children. I gave it to them first. Now I'm giving it to you. I am going to be fair and balanced. This is why you other nations have not wanted to admit what has happened to us. You don't want to admit that we've been under the curses. I used to remember that I used to have some conversation. So we used to go back and forth and, have our little battles back and forth with some of my little Christian friends. And I would talk about the curses that we were under. And she would always be saying things like, oh, you guys aren't under curses. You guys are not under any curses. I was like, damn, we really aren't? Is that what you really think, that we're not under any kind of curses, even though we fit all of these curses? Now we understand why they don't want to admit that we were under the curses. Because if we were really under the curses for us breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, and we had to go through all of this cursing, then that would mean that they don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. They've been doing horrible things to our people. So that would mean then that if the Most High was just and fair, then that would mean that they would have to go under the curses also. So this is why they've made it a point to not admit that we, as black people, have gone under the curses. We are here to tell you, yeah, we went through the curses. We paid for our sins. And then our pastor always would say, oh, well, we can't pay for our sins. We can't do that. That's just too much. We can't pay for our sins, as we've been paying for ours, right? As we've been paying for our sins. So you can't pay for them because we've been paying for ours. Now you're going to have to pay for yours. Very simple. Okay? The sun is going down over here. I'm going to come outside and kind of show y'all. The sunset's beautiful out here. Sunset at 4:30 in the afternoon and shit. Yes, don't fall. But yes, it's a beautiful sunset right there. Not too fast. It's going down quick. Sunset at 4:30. This is kind of crazy. But it's all making sense. That's why, I mean, I remember having, debates back and forth with people, and I would talk about the curses, and they'd be like, oh, you're not under the curses. Bitch, who the fuck are you to tell me what I'm going through and what I'm experiencing? You ain't gonna sit here and tell me what I'm not under the curses and this and that. But that's exactly what these people have been doing, because they don't want to believe that we've been under the curses. Because if we've been moved from the top to the bottom, and we've had to go through these curses, that proves then that you're gonna have to do the same thing, because you guys are not special. The Most High is not going to be merciful, which is what you guys have been asking for. And see, that Bible that you guys walk around with shows you that the Most High is fair and balanced. All you got to do is go to in the chat for the people that are here. Just put some of the verses that talk about how the Most High is going to make you guys. If we went into captivity, you're going into captivity. If you killed us with the sword, you must be killed with the sword. Jeremiah 30:16. Start with that one. Jeremiah 30:16. Right? Isaiah 14:1 through 3. Revelation 13:9 and 10. And there's many, many more. If you kill with the sword, you must be killed with the sword. If you took us into slavery, you're going into slavery. Joel 3, read Joel chapter 3. If you did things to us, if we had to endure, you're going to have to endure. Eye for an eye. I said, you can say Paul said all you want. Paul is not the one that's going to be in charge of what punishment you guys are going to be getting. You just want to twist Paul's words and to make the Most High act like he's going to be merciful towards you. And he's not. He's going to be just. And that's all you can really ask for from the Most High. He can do whatever he wants to us. But if, all we can ask for is him to be fair and just. That's what we're asking for. Okay? We're asking for the Most High to be fair and just, because that's what I want him to be fair and just with you other nations. I don't want you to get any special treatment. I didn't get any special treatment. My people didn't get any special treatment. We messed up. We had to pay. You messed up. You have to pay. That's all that I asked for. You can hope for something better. You can hope for something different. That's on you guys. I said, that's between you and the Most High, but I can let you know we're his chosen people, and we had to pay. So you're going to be getting double. That's what the Bible says. Okay? So I'm going to play a couple of videos, because see, like, the immigrants, they're like, why do the black people, hate or don't like us, or why do the black people don't like, Mexicans or immigrants and stuff like that? I'm like, okay, look, you had a choice. And I love how you guys keep on making it seem as if somehow they're like, well, I don't want to get into petty arguments about like our past. And no, they're not petty arguments. Okay, those are decisions and coalitions, and you are confederate with the white man against us. So it's not as easy as, oh, well, okay, I admit we messed up. Okay, we need to just kind of come together now. No. You got a whole lot of making up to do to the Most High until we all be coming together and kumbaya and all that good stuff. Because you guys haven't even said, I'm sorry. You haven't even said, how can I make this right? You haven't talked about any of that. You just seem to think that if you just admit something, and then all of a sudden now we're just supposed to just come over, hang out, and we work together. That's not how this shit works. That's not how this is not how this is going to work at all. Okay? I said, because like this woman, she talks about, I came from another country, you know, she came from Mexico, and she's talking about how like African Americans were treated, and she learned a little bit of the history. And the thing is that you guys have not learned the history. You were not worried about the history when you guys got here. You were worried about trying to make a better life, but you just knew you guys were getting benefits that you did not fight for, and you didn't say no. In fact, you were racist towards the people who actually fought for those benefits. Okay, so there is no, hey, this is just, you know, let's just move forward. We're not moving forward. Where we are moving forward. We're moving down our path, and you're moving down your path. You're moving forward on the path that you and your ancestors have set for you, just like we had to move down the path that our ancestors set for us. Our ancestors messed up. We are our ancestors. We had to pay. Your ancestors messed up by making a covenant with, you know, the Edomites, the Europeans. And see, now you're seeing how the Europeans have turned on you. Now it's like, oh, let's all come together. Nope, not gonna happen. We're not coming together. So you guys already had that choice. You already had that opportunity, and you guys had all of these benefits for all of these years. And the thing with everybody is like, well, it wasn't everybody. I know it wasn't everybody, but you know who knows who has to pay what? The Most High. The Most High does not make mistakes. And this is something we all need to talk about first and foremost before we even look at like what's going on in the world right now, what's going on with ICE, what's going on with the immigrants, what's going on with the so-called Negroes who made a covenant with the Edomites and this system. Can we all agree that the Most High does not make mistakes? We should all be able to agree that the Most High does not make mistakes, right? Now, we also have to agree that the Most High, he makes good and he also makes evil. If we can all agree that he doesn't make mistakes and he makes good and evil, and we also have to agree the Most High controls the right-hand side and the left-hand side. The devil does not. He's not an independent contractor who can do whatever he wants. He has to get permission, just like we looked at in the book of Job. When he wanted to test Job, he had to get permission. He couldn't just go and just do whatever he wanted to Job. He had to have permission. If we can agree on all these things, then we can move forward with what we're seeing going on worldwide and nationwide, okay? Now, if ICE goes and picks up somebody and takes him and removes him from a family, who did that? Was that the devil or was that the Most High? We're gonna say, because it was ordained by the Most High. Who sent ICE to go and get that particular person? Was it the devil or was it the Most High? The Most High, right? So if you're seeing people getting picked up and sent back to this country and families are being broken up, who's doing that? Is that the devil or is it the Most High? That would be the Most High. So that there is proof right now that the Most High is not showing you mercy, but he is being just, okay? And he is being fair, okay? That is what is going on right now. See, you guys I'll play a little bit of her video. She talks about how, you know, she's learned some of the history of the African Americans. But the thing is that you're not learning the real history. Okay. First of all, we're not African Americans. All right. So you're not learning. We are the true people, the true owners of these lands. Okay. We are, you guys, the vast majority of Latinos and people who are immigrants here. Okay. The only history you guys are learning is history about Spain. That's why you guys, Mexico owned California in 1821. Who gives a shit if they owned America in 1821? Who owned America before 1492? That's what matters. Who were the ones that the Most High gave these lands to? That's what matters. I don't care. See, just like Columbus didn't care about the history before 1492, the Spaniards said, any history before 1492, we don't recognize. Okay. I don't recognize any history after 1492 because that history and that understanding comes from Spaniards, comes from people who had nothing to do with these lands. They're going to have these lands for a little bit, but then after their time is up, you're going to be nothing but a distant memory. If you somehow think that you are the first persons in these lands and everything that comes from Spain, like your last name, like your religion, like your tongue, then that means that you are not the original people here. You see what I'm saying? So stop it with the, oh, well, the original Mexicans look like this and they look like you guys today. No, because all the other pictures are showing you guys black people. Before Columbus, black people, right? So the stuff that you're seeing going on in these, they always want to pull at your heartstrings. Oh, look at the kids. Look at the kids crying. Did you care about our kids when all these horrible things were happening to them? Did your parents or your grandparents, when they saw things happen to so-called black people, did they care? No, they didn't care. Who was watching them? The Most High was watching them. So now what you're seeing is a reversal. So now you're seeing your family, you're seeing your families torn apart, you're seeing your children left, you're seeing parents being taken away, being separated from their kids. You're seeing them, families being ripped apart. The Most High is the one that's doing that. Why would he be doing that? Because that's exactly what you did. That's exactly what you witnessed and did not care for. And it talks about it in Deuteronomy 28. It talks about like parents going around like in despair because they don't have their children anymore. You don't have your children anymore. Why? Because the Most High is ripping families apart. Why? Because that's what they did to the Most High's people. And that's exactly, now it's just your turn. That is it. It is not anything like you guys always love to say. I'll see like a lot of like in like gangster movies. It's just business. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Remember, you guys always love to say that. It's just business. It's nothing personal. That's the Most High. It's just business. Nothing personal. You don't get any special treatment. You don't get any mercy. You get fair and balanced. This is the Most High balancing the scales. And it's going to get nothing but worse. So I'm going to show a couple of these little videos. Hold on real fast. Hold on. Right here. No, I should do that. Oh, that's a different one. Where's the church?
Estoy grabando este video porque tenemos gente trabajando en la iglesia y estos son nuestros niños. Estos son nuestros niños dentro de una iglesia donde han venido los de migración y se han llevado a uno de nuestros hermanos que no estaba haciendo nada más que trabajando. Vean, esta es la cara de nuestros niños.
Fair use. Fair
Gente
use.
trabajadora. Gente que no está haciendo nada malo.
They're not doing anything bad. They're just working and they're coming and picking them up and whatever else. Okay. Again, where's white Jesus at? You guys are in church. You've been praying. You've been praying since 2020. Why is white Jesus not helping you? If you're not doing anything wrong, it's just working, why is the Most High ripping families apart? I mean, that should be things that you should be thinking about. Remember, there's been many a times that our people have done absolutely nothing wrong and bad things happen to us and people have never stepped up to the plate. have never tried to like get us, you know, any type of justice. They've just watched, bystanding, just and saying nothing, but then going behind our backs and saying horrible things about us. These are the curses. This shows you that the Most High is not going to be merciful. You guys are in those churches praying for the Most High to not be fair. You're praying for the Most High won't be balanced. You're praying for the Most High to give you special treatment that he did not even give to his children. That is what you guys are in church praying for. You're praying that a white Jesus can be merciful for you and keep you from having to pay for what your ancestors have done. You only have to look at you only have your ancestors to blame. They were the ones who made the covenant with the Edomites. They were the ones that sold this generation that you see now out to the beast system. And right here. Fair use, I don't know what use that one was, but again, they're taking like moms and leaving the children, stuff like that. That stuff happened to us first. All of that happened to us first. And did you show any compassion? If you did, the Most High will pass over you. If your ancestors were the ones that weren't doing it, the Most High will pass over you. But if your ancestors were the ones who watched, participated, didn't care, the Most High will come for you. Because you're the one that is still here. So you can keep saying, we only want it to work. You're working on bloodied soil. You're working on soil that is tainted with the spilt blood of my ancestors. The Most High doesn't care that you came here to work. Because who did you work to please? Did you work to please the Most High when you were here working? Or did you work to please the white man who gave you the opportunity to come here and steal the opportunities and the resources of the Israelites? So every time I hear you guys say, I came here to work, I'm just going to say, for the white man. All I did was work for the white man. I don't cause any problems for the white man. Right? Because that's exactly what it is. Now, it is a definitely terrible thing to fall into the hands of the Most High. You came here to work to make the white man's life easier. And now you're realizing that the lies he told you about how good things were going to be and how, you know, the Most High is going to be merciful. He's not going to be fair or balanced, but he's going to be merciful towards you, is nothing but a lie. Nothing but a lie. Now, next point. Why are they using all of these videos of black people fighting for the immigrants, crying for the immigrants, crying for the things that are going on in the immigrant world right now? Why? Did they say, I am sorry for what happened to you, black people? Have they said, forgive me, please, for what has happened to, you so-called black people? None of that. But you seem to think that we're supposed to just, I don't know, feel sorry for you and go to bat for you and come together and Why? You can't stop what's happening. Now, see, a lot of these women, though, are part of this system. They have sold out to this system. So therefore, they are going to fight for what they're seeing going on in this system. That's what shows you why skin color does not necessarily mean that much at this point, because the vast majority of our own people have sold out for this system, and they're still trying to fight for us to give our energy. Right? So I'm going to play this one right here.
I'm a teacher, and the school that I teach at, an art teacher, is 70% Hispanic. So with me being the art teacher, I see children K through 5. Do you know how difficult it was for me to continue to hear these babies being scared of ICE? There's a lot of bots and a lot of people in comments. I don't even read the comments because they're so loud in the comment section, but I don't hear none of that outside. I'm just gonna believe it's bots. But it's sad when the babies are affected by all of this drama. And a lot of
these people have never cared about the babies. Did they care about our babies when they were being sold? Did they care about the babies when they were cutting them up into pieces and feeding them to their dogs? Did they care about the babies when they were taking the dads and shoving them into prisons for things they, for breaking the law that they didn't even, that they never did? Convicting them of crimes they didn't commit? Or when the priests and the pastors are raping them at church and at church functions? I mean, please stop with how much they care about the babies.
Didn't come to school today. The older ones told me stories about their family members and so forth and so on. Even conversations of people born in the States. They're confused, or they're scared they're going to be confused and be just detained, because that's never good. You see how they're treating these people? They're detaining them and treat them like animals. I loathe it. I can't stand it. I feel like the only people who appreciate it and really like it, those people are going to have to feel that energy at some point in time in their lives. The people that are like, yeah, get rid of.
And if you don't understand history, this is exactly what is happening. The people that like this, they're going to have to feel that energy for themselves in the future. That is exactly what is already happening. The people that are experiencing these things were the ones that already saw this happening in the past and said nothing. They make it sound like this is new, and that people who are, supporting it are going to have to pay for it in the future. When, again, this is not new. This is something that happened to our people first. Everybody just, I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Oh, that's a Negro problem. That's not my problem. That's a Negro problem, not my problem. That's for the Negroes and the blacks. That's not my problem. That's what you guys have been doing. And just because you get now someone here who looks like us running their mouth, the Most High is not dealing with people like this. Because if you go to Proverbs 1:26, the Most High said, what happens when a calamity comes to the other nations? What does the Most High do? Look it up in Proverbs chapter 1, around verse 26. When calamity comes to the other nations, what does the Most High say he's going to do? He says he's going to laugh at your calamity. That is what the Most High says he's going to do. So if he says he's going to laugh, but then you have someone here, that same energy is going to come on you. This is that energy coming on everyone that just looked away at what happened to us.
These people that detain them and treat them like animals. I loathe it. I can't stand it. I feel like the only people who appreciate it and really like it, those people are going to have to feel that energy at some point in time in their lives. The people that are like, yeah, get rid of them. Those are the seeds that you're planting. And that's okay. That's what you choose to do. I'm not going to, stay about my comment section, but
those are the seeds that have been planted. They have been planted. And now the seeds are sprouting. You see what I'm saying? But see, nobody looks at history. Nobody's saying anything about history. These were the seeds that have been planted. The Most High allowed everyone to set up their testimony. And the kids that are having to experience this, these are the seeds that were planted by your ancestors. Right? No one is connecting the dots because you don't look at history. Not you, but them.
In the meantime, it was just really difficult. I'm in Charlotte, right outside of Charlotte, excuse me, in a little town right outside of Charlotte. Don't want to say, I don't want them coming. But
So, I keep seeing these videos. There's another one.
The way they doing them people in Charlotte, North Carolina, the way ICE doing is fucked up. And that's all I'm going to say. It is fucked up. The way they going over in them churchyards and, people at church and they going in and raiding churches and shit. The way they going and people, doing yard work and shit. They just coming up out of nowhere, jumping out of vans and shit with motherfucking masks on and shit. Trying to snatch people, chasing people through the woods and all kind of shit. That's fucked up. Ain't nothing about what they doing is right. They not even asking people for no ID. They done pulled over some man that's fucking light skinned. He black. And start talking fucking Mexican and Hispanic, Spanish or whatever to him. It's fucked up. It's wrong. I cannot believe that the world is coming to this. It's one thing that...
Newsflash, lady. There are plenty of black people who come from other countries. There are plenty of black people who come from Panama, right? From the islands, from the Caribbean, right? From the Dominican, from Cuba, who are not American citizens. But it just shows you 2/3. You got so many 2/3 running out here, running their mouth, talking. Right?
Try to figure this out a different way, stopping people from getting in or having it's a better way. I don't know how they can do it, but I'm pretty sure it's a better way. You got people, they going in grocery stores that they know Mexicans be in, and they actually raiding grocery stores. They raid.
And again, they're not just going after Mexicans. You see, that's the whole thing. They're going after anybody that the Most High sends them after. This is all about Most High being just and being fair. See, this is what happens when you don't know your history. You don't know the things that your ancestors have co-signed on. Why would the Most High allow ICE to be going into churches? Because he's also showing you your churches ain't shit. And that your churches can't save you. And that your priests and your pastors can't save you. That your pastors and your priests and these churches have lied to you about everything. Right? Hold on. Now, let you see why they have destroyed the black man and the relationship he had with the black woman was a huge thing for what you're seeing today. Okay? Because at the end, the Most High was going to raise up his men to be able to tell you the truth. And society has been working up all the way until today to keep the people from realizing that we are the ones you need to listen to. The men of the Most High were going to be raised up at this time in order to give direction. And we're not going to pull at your heartstrings. Oh, look at the kids. Oh, because I'm like, if you haven't acknowledged what's happened to my kids, then why would you think I will acknowledge what's happening to your children? Telling me we need to just move past petty arguments and come together and move forward. See, those black women you just saw right there, that's what they say. But the men of the Most High are going to be like, oh, hell no. When you start to admit what you've done to my children, then you can have a conversation. But the Most High is already showing you he's not going to be merciful. He doesn't care about your kids because you did not care about his children. The Most High has had us bring up all this history and bring out all these events that has happened to our people for you to just ignore. Your silence is like pretty much saying, I don't give a shit what happened to your children. Your children don't rate with me. I don't care that they did these things to your children. It wasn't my problem. That's a Negro problem. Well, now this Negro problem is now your problem. This Jacob trouble, the trouble that Jacob has gone through is now trouble that all of the rest of the world is now going to experience. And trying to play at our heartstrings is not going to work. Just like when I talk about Willie Lynch and how they tore our brothers apart in front of our women. They destroyed our family structure. They reversed the roles of our men and women. And they made it so that our women and our men cannot work together. That shows you why we are in the situation that we are in today. And that's why even many women are not going to listen to us so-called black men here at the end. As you can see, the churches are still filled with many of our women going to a pastor who is lying to them about everything, and they will listen to what he has to say, hook, line, and sinker. And just like when, Pastor Mitchell, is having his little prayer sessions, and all these women are watching these men in purple from IUIC walking, using the Bible, and they're like, Jesus, 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 like somehow we're serving the devil. This goes back to Willie Lynch. This goes back to, I'm not going to listen to a black man. I'll listen to anything a white man says. Our own women do this. Many of them do the same shit. They won't listen to anything someone like myself says, even though I can bring all the receipts. But they'll listen to a pastor who's sitting there in line. I told you to bring me $2,000. Well, I can only bring you $1,200. That's not what I told you. I told you to bring me $2,000. And won't even question that shit. So this sister here had a great breakdown. And this talks about how low they brought the men and how they're going to have such a hard time now with this truth coming from the mouth of a so-called Negro. This sister did a great job right here.
So this black woman messaged me and she was like, I feel as though you empathize with black men, but you don't empathize with black women. Well, the reason why I empathize with black men is because black men are the most disrespected out of all the races in the world, right? Black men are the most disrespected by their woman, meaning the black woman, right? There is no other race in the world where women think that it's okay to disrespect their man the way that black women disrespect black men. And here's the crazy part about it. Let's go to the statistics. Let's go to the facts. Black women are the least likely to get married. Black men are getting married at higher rates than black women. Black men are commodities. If you go to any place around the world, most women want black men. Black men are commodities. But for whatever reason, black women don't see that. And then they are entitled and think that they're supposed to come with all this baggage, be out of shape, have all these kids, out of marriage, and just be really a hot mess, and then a black man is just supposed to be like, well, I should just settle for this. The black woman really thinks that the black man should be happy with settling with their nonsense and foolishness, on top of being combative and disrespectful. Why would a black man deal with that when he can go get a woman from another race that is going to not have kids the whole nine and want to actually get on his program? I'm gonna need black women to wake up. So this black woman messaged me and she was like,
and now again, Sandy Brown, always a black woman's fault. See, this is exactly what happens when you actually talk about what's going on. You always got certain people, oh, it's always a black woman's fault. Did anybody say it was always a black woman's fault? See, that's the problem. That's why we can't heal and come together. Okay? But we will. The ones that are supposed to, they will. The ones that aren't, they won't. They won't. And that's if the Most High leaves people, then that's where he leaves people. Okay? The whole point of this situation is that this is what the system has done. And the thing is that the Most High is using certain of us, not very many, black men, I said, to bring this truth out and to put the puzzle pieces together in order to lead our nation, which again, eventually is going to lead the whole world, is going to come, and they're going to come to the point that, and to the realization of how wrong they've been. And the ones who have been awakened are working together. We are praying together. And we're going to come together even more, as things get crazier and crazier. The ones who have already been called are already working together to destroy this system. They've already been coming together to destroy this system. This just had a great point. She just talks about how we are, as black men, we are like the most disrespected. But that was all set up on purpose by the Most High, first and foremost, but these other nations have done that as well. We are the most disrespected because, first of all, I said most of our women don't want to listen to us. But the examples that they put up are black men who don't know shit, or black men that are actually of this world. But that is all changing now. That is all, that's already changed now. Because now the whole world is realizing that, yeah, I got a man at home, but my man ain't shit. That's what the vast majority of the world is realizing. I got a man at home, and I'm talking about all these other nations as well. I got a man at home, but he can't teach me shit. Because once society, like money doesn't mean anything anymore, which is already getting to that point. Your education through this system doesn't mean anything anymore, right? What else do you have besides money and, some education through it? Once that gets to the point where it doesn't mean anything, what do you have? That's how these men have gotten into these higher positions in this society with money and status, looks, and whatever else. But once you get past those 2 or 3 things, what have you done for the Most High? That's what 3 Eye Atlas is really showing these people now. Because as it gets closer, what you've done for the Most High is now going to be what's at the forefront. And if you haven't been doing anything for the Most High, all you've been doing is burying your talents in the earth. The Most High is going to take all the talents away from you and give it to the ones who've been doing things for the Most High. Yes, and like I said, the Most High has torn the men and the women down in order to rebuild them. Just looking at someone right now. Like I said, so 3i Atlas is definitely, you know, changing things. And like I said, it's going to shut everything down. And these people now realizing that, you know, they've been lied to about absolutely everything. But then they don't have a lot of direction because, again, most men can't lead because they've not been chosen to lead. Okay? You got to learn before you can read, before you can lead. You can't lead anybody if you don't know anything. Right? So again, they also use men to try to push this whole kumbaya bullshit that's not coming either.
The shit that happened in Charlotte should make every American stop what they're doing. Because if shit like that can happen at a church, then nowhere in America is actually safe. People were outside on church grounds like it was a normal Saturday, planting flowers, cooking food, watching kids run around. Everything was calm, and then out of absolute nowhere, a squad of federal agents rushed the property. No announcement, no identification, no warning shot, no nothing. They busted through those gates like they was hitting a cartel compound.
So now, nowhere is safe. Nowhere's been safe for our people. Again, this shows you how everything is switched. Have so-called black people been safe anywhere? Were we safe at churches when they were bombing our churches? Nope. So again, why is it all of a sudden, oh, that just proves that nowhere is safe? Oh, so they're allowed to have safe spaces, but we're not? So we haven't had any safe places. So now, again, this just shows you that for you other nations, now there's no place that's going to be safe for you. This is already things that have happened to us. But you got black faces out here, running out here worried about everybody else without, hey, I'm sorry, why don't you guys acknowledge what's happened to us first before I should have to acknowledge anything that's happened to you? And then here's another one.
Border Patrol is in Charlotte,
Someone
North
over here
Carolina, on the south side.
over here crying.
Border Patrol is in Charlotte, North Carolina, on the south side right now. And they are raiding Hispanic restaurants and places of business. How is it legal? How is it legal? Like the way they are just walking up to people who are working. I have so many videos that I have saved. Walking up to people who are working.
So I guess if you're working, that means that you're safe. I guess if you're working, that means you can just do whatever you want. Hey man, I would love to move to Cancun. Can I just go there, get a job and start working and say you can't do nothing to me? You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. I can't go to just someplace I want to live. You know, I want to live by Chichen Itza. Can I just go there and get a job there and then I just stay there? And no. You know, those are my lands anyways down there. Can I just, you know, I want to go to Teotihuacan over Mexico City. Can I just go get a job and just squat and then, you know, I'm working. Hey, I got a job. You should have got me before I got a job. I got a job, so now you can't deport me. I mean, come on now.
Working and just snatching them. Busting car windows. Snatching people from laundromats. From a laundromat. Restaurants. Trump, are you serious? How is this legal? Border Patrol is in Charlotte.
Why, again, why are we crying? Why aren't we asking any of these groups to say, hey, admit what you've done to our people. Admit what you watched happened to our people. Admit how you've benefited being here on these lands that were promised to my people. Before, you know, it always talks about how if you got a problem with your brother, go take care of your problem with your brother before you come to the altar to, to give something to the altar to the Most High. You have a problem with me. You have a problem with us so-called Negroes. Before you go and place your offering at the altar, you come and deal with me. You come and deal with my people. You come and deal with what your forefathers were condoning happening to my people. Because see, even till today, you're still not admitting what has transpired against the Israelites. You're still trying to call me black and African American. You're still trying to act like these are your lands. So before you can have the 2/3. I don't give a fuck. You can have the 2/3. They can go with you. They can go with you. Take them with you because they've been with you this whole time. So, them at the fake empathy bullshit, you guys have already got your money. You've already got your recompense. And see, this is what I said as far as like the so-called black men. This is why they put us at the bottom, and they have so many people not wanting to listen to what we have to say. Again, not all, the very few that have expressed that you can see that they have the Holy Spirit, because they're not going to come out here and tell you, no, they're going to tell you, no, before you even think to try to get me to have any sympathy from you, you got to deal with what you've done for us for hundreds of years. You're not getting my energy like that. And that woman's and those people's energy, I said, means nothing, because they don't have the connection with the Most High. Because he said, the other nations, when calamity comes on you, he will be laughing. So all these people that are crying, they're not of the Most High, because it is unrighteous. You guys have had, it's unrighteous to have, these unbalanced scales. Is an abomination to the Most High to have these unbalanced scales, right? It's an abomination to the Most High to have these unbalanced scales. So you guys trying to get sympathy for people who have been living off of unbalanced scales is ungodly. It is ungodly to try to get people to feel bad for people who have been enjoying a life of unbalanced scales. That is an abomination to the Most High. So anybody who's crying and wanting us to worry and think about the other nations, you are siding with the adversary. And I would suggest anybody prove me wrong, because as soon as you say something about, you should have more compassion, unbalanced scales. They've been unbalanced for hundreds of years. Where's your compassion towards my people? Where has your compassion been for my people? Oh, we're not going to talk about those petty things. Well, it might be petty to you, but it's not petty to the Most High. Unjust weights are an abomination to the Most High. So until these unjust weights are balanced, you can miss me with trying to get empathy for what you've done to my people. Now this here's a young lady from Mexico, and she talks about the racist. And again, when she's talking about people from Mexico, I'm talking about all immigrants, because you've all been, it's not just them, it's the whole world of immigrants who have been doing these things, racist towards our people, who have been, benefiting from unjust weights. And now that things are happening to them, and it's only going to get much worse, they want to quickly pivot to, we all need to come together. So I'm going to play a little bit here.
bottom of. So I'm gonna talk about that in this video today. So why are some Black Americans anti-Mexican and anti-immigrant? It's a question that I've been exploring myself for a really long time, understanding
And the thing is, we're not anti-Mexican or anti-immigrant. We are just giving you the same. If you're part of that group, if you haven't been with them and you've been cool with us, that's something different. But we're just giving you the karma that you deserve. So you're speaking to yourself about being anti-immigrant or anti-Mexican. No, because you were anti-Black first. If you talk about us being anti-anything, you were anti that first. We're just matching energy. If you say we're anti-immigrant, anti-white, that's because you're anti-Black first. You're anti-Israelite first. You're anti-Hebrew first. Hold on. So let me play a little bit of this video.
getting to the bottom of. So I'm gonna talk about that in this video today. Being someone who is Afro-Latino with a very Black Hispanic parent, I feel like I have a perspective that I'm gonna share that a lot of people, of course, don't normally like to speak on and touch on, but that's why your girl is here. I have a message to spread. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, bro. Mexican parents, which that's my experience because that's my background. Mexican parents, no matter what color, are extremely prejudiced towards Black Americans. And it is actually very common. It has been going on forever. And Black Americans are catching on to that. Let's keep the ball rolling with this one. When I first came here to the US, I had just came out of a very small village, Afro-Indigenous village. And of course, when I first came here, I immediately met African Americans and of course the white Americans. We all had an idea of what they were like. We wanted to be friends. We thought it was awesome. As a minority living in another country, you think Americans are really cool, as opposed to someone that's more, let's say in Europe, they hate Americans. And even in some parts of my country, Americans are not really welcomed or loved. But in a small or minority village, poverty-ridden places, Americans are a dream. And I think that's very innocent-minded and really beautiful idea to have as well. I don't think that's a bad thing, all right?
You just love white people because of white Jesus. That's all that is. All the Americans, they just love them. They love them because you've been conditioned to love them because of white Jesus.
I know what being African American was. I didn't know everybody's background, even the white Americans. I didn't really know their history yet, right? I just knew everybody was from the United States and they were rich and awesome. One thing that I always talk about is kind of like, what is the movie Home Alone? That's my idea of the US, wealth and just white families. That's kind of how I had that idea. Of course, I know that's not true for all white people. So over time, when I started learning English and understanding things more, learning about history, of course, African American history, now I know that they didn't tell us the full truth about it. But, learning about slavery and learning about Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman and all of that, I was extremely inspired and I immediately became a really big explorer of African American history, the background of slavery and the result of the African American society we have today in present day, right? So I have that understanding now, and I'm a huge advocate and ally for my African American brothers and sisters. Now, I did see that my own parents had a lot of prejudiced ideas, stereotypes that they were told about the African American community, and then I started noticing that my friends' parents are the same way, and everybody's parents, and the elders were even worse. Like I was shocked, to say the least, to openly call Black folks the N-word, dehumanize, and hold them to the stereotypes that are straight up BS.
Now again, she just said her parents were racist. Everybody around her parents were racist. The elders were racist, and then to call them the N-word, and to pretty much dehumanize them. Those are your ancestors. They had those thoughts. They have those thoughts, and they have benefited from being that way. That right there lets you know why everything is now switching on you. Now it's not like, oh, all we did was work. Yes, you worked. Your parents worked, and your grandparents were great, and they all got benefits living here by being racist to our people. And now it is time to pay. She just told you right now, everybody's parents were like that, and grandparents and great grandparents were like that. That explains why what is happening today is happening. This is why all of your churches that you've been going to have told you, we don't want God to be fair. We don't want God to be just. We want him to be merciful, because we know how horribly we've been treating the Most High's chosen people. And he's going to treat you fairly. Get comfortable. He doesn't make mistakes. The ones he needs to find, he'll find. And that's it. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Much love, family. Shalom.